Hello YouTube, Danester83 back again. This is actually the second time I've videoed this video because I did do it all yesterday, but I recorded it on my handheld camera, the one I use. Right, no, it's not in here. I think it was more to do with me, the settings, and not cleaning the lens because obviously it got dusty and it just looked really fuzzy. Not that you want to see me in a 4K face or anything like that, but you couldn't see the games and that. So I shot this video, fucking edited it, because I've actually spent some money. I spent £8 on an editing program on my laptop. It's pretty good. It's just simple for me. You know, don't worry, I'm not going to start a Patreon and say, give me some money so I can make a better channel, because let's face it, this channel's not going to get much better than what it is. But I'm glad I've reshot it because obviously there's a couple of more things I want to mention that's happened since yesterday. Obviously, big congratulations to Russ, the Retro Bear, on winning October's YouTuber of the Month. I remember YouTuber of the Month years ago when I think Pete Armour was running it for that year or something. I'm sure Pete definitely won it anyway. Novabugs won it. Stu's obviously won it. And various other channels, and it seemed to have gone over to the US when someone from the US won. It seemed to nominate a lot of US people, whereas now it's flipped around the other way because Russ has won it. I think it's mainly UK channels he's recommended, and two of those I want to mention and congratulate them for being nominated. That's Scott Sega Zombie. They're both done videos about being nominated, and Danester83. Danester83's a brand new channel this year, really, so it's excellent for him to be nominated. And Scott's been around 2 or 3 years and he's got an excellent Sega collection. So stop what you're doing now, because I'm only going to do a load of shit in a minute, showing you pickups and stuff like that. So go and check their channels out and vote for anyone you want. There's 5 people nominated, but as long as it's one of them two, I'm not bothered. Vote for them because they're two very sound lads who I've met at events. So yeah, go and check out Scott and Nath. If I remember, I might put a link in the description, but don't quote me on that because I might forget. So what's happened since I've done Bristol Gaming Market? That was alright. Wasn't as busy as the first time, but was busier than the second time. I saw, obviously, Big Mike, without further ado, Retro, and poor Mr. Bad's there. And probably various other people, because it's got to be above 2 months, if a lot longer, since that's done, because I've not been around since I've done that fucking last video that I'm not going to mention. That's done with now. Old news. And obviously Blackpool. Check me out with the Capri Sun. Blackpool was brilliant, you know. Blackpool and when we do Arcade Club are my 2 social events of the year. So, you know, I do let my hair down what little bit I've got left. I do not just go for the piss up, but it is mainly about having a few beers with my mates and enjoying myself. But I did pick up some stuff while I was at Blackpool. So I'll be going through that. Blackpool started with, I obviously picked up Liam, my mate Liam, which you might actually see some pictures of because now I've got this editing software, I can put pictures and shit up there. And we picked up Jay, Cybersnake7, because he only lives 2-3 miles away from my house, so it was a no-brainer. I mean, I'd happily go up with a car full of lads. If anyone lives in and around the area that I live in, the West Midlands, I'm happy to give anyone a lift because, you know, it cuts down on the fuel and it makes the journey a bit better with the more banter there is. I think we got to the Norbreck about 12, may have been just before. We were the first people there. Got ourselves checked into our hotels and started supping a few beers, and then people started turning up. I think Stu and Rob were probably the next couple, and just we congregated in the original bar where everyone used to meet, the big one with the glass, like a conservatory. But obviously once bingo started going on, you know, we were ruining the oldies time, so we moved back to the little bar. I want to say it's called Frosty Jack's or something like that. It's a little bar out the back, which is a bit more of a sports bar and stuff like that. But I'd had made some purchases, as I said, and I've done a few trades, so I'll just jump into them because I'm just going to keep chatting crap about stuff that went on in Blackpool, which not really much, just lots of people who I'd had a drink with who I haven't had a drink with before. So yeah, you know what I'm like now. I like a drink and I like a dance. So the first thing I picked up was actually from Jay, Cybersnake7. He did me a really, really good deal on this. Thanks again, Jay, because it was top quality deal. The condition's brilliant. As you might remember, I picked up a Famicom. I mean, the collection of games has grown. since I bought this in Birmingham earlier in the year. I have been adding games, and Jade got this game, and he has done me a really, really good deal on it, and it is Mighty Final Fight. See, this is much better, man. When I was showing this stuff yesterday, it was all blurry and weren't focused, man. So I might sack the cameras off altogether and just carry on using my phone, because the quality of the camera seems pretty good. But yeah, it's got the little baggie in there, it's got the game cart in there, and it's got the manual, and it's in really nice condition. I've put it in all my stuff now, my loose carts and my box system stuff, go in these protective things now, just because they collect dust and they get battered. So yeah, that was my first pickup. So I'd only just bought one beer, and I'm starting buying stuff, so as I have more beer, it's probably going to get more chaotic. And then obviously Stu turned up, and I forgot, I can't remember if he was in the WhatsApp group or one of his videos, he'd picked up some PlayStation titles, and there's a few I needed. And of course, like a div, I said, oh Stu, I need them ones. And he wouldn't have nothing for it. I mean, I class Stu as a good mate, so, you know, I've got this blooming, I don't even know if it's Majora's Mask or one of the other ones, Zelda guidebooks for the N64 that I've promised he can have for his daughter. And of course, I brought it back home with me because it stayed in my bag, because I took my bag back to the hotel and we went out drinking. But I will get you. It'll just be like blooming Jay Cybersnake's Commodore tape deck that went to about 3 events before we got it, and you get it in the end. So, starting off, nothing spectacular. Sled Storm. Just, I mean, it's probably not, it's an EA Sports game, you know what I mean? But it's one I ain't got. Kenson's Sacred Fist. Now, this guy here looks like a fake Crow or Sting from WCW. And if you look on the back, it looks pretty much like a Tekken game. So, I used to love Tekken back in the day on the PS1. So, Zoo Classics loaded. This is one of Liam's favourite games, and I must admit, it's a franchise I never played, you know. Looks like it's full of blood and guts, so it was just a game I hadn't got, and Stu brought along. Now this is my cup of tea, because I used to love wrestling games on any system, because I love wrestling. I still do. I don't watch it, I read about it. Watch a few blooming clips and stuff like that. Tyson Fury fighting Braun Strowman, what the hell's that all about? But this is what I ain't got. WCW Backstage Assault, which all in all is a naff game, because you can't actually wrestle in the ring, it is just backstage fighting. But it's one of the WCW games I ain't got. I've got Mayhem, I've got WCW vs. the World. I think I need to get Thunder, that's one of the ones I'm missing. But again, Stu, thank you very much, mate. And the best one of the lot, it's not in the best condition, which Stu told me, the case is a bit cracked. Ray Tracer, which I always want to say Rage Racer, because that was a game on the PS1 that I had when it started. It's just a racing game. It's quite a sought after, expensive title. I'm going to try and change the case out, but it's one of them funny earlier PlayStation ones that has that like grey trim around the cover. So no doubt there's some crap early titles. I think one of the FIFAs had this, so I'm just going to swap it out and put the better game in the better case. So, I'm still picking stuff up, man. This is becoming a horrible trend of when I get to these events, I'm starting to either spend money or bring more stuff back than what I take. And the other trend, oh man, I've done it again. I did this when I've shot this yesterday. When I was at Bristol, I picked some stuff up from Scotty Shaolin, not Japanese, Alan, he's definitely not Japanese. I'll put his store logo up here. He's on Facebook, Alan's Japanese Gaming or something like that. He imports all the Japanese stuff, and I bought 2 controllers for the white PC Engine, because the one I'd picked up that's in the box there had got, fucking hell, I can't even point to it, had got some really horrible third-party yellowed controller. And my original one had a grey, so I've swapped the grey down to the Turbo Graphics, and now I've got a white one. So I'll pick them up from Al for a great price at Bristol. And again, like, as you do the events, you get to know people, and he obviously knows I'm a trader normally, so I normally have a store, but obviously I didn't have one at Blackpool. So he always sorts you out a good deal, especially if you're going to buy more than one item. Alan will sort you out with a deal, and he's a nice bloke, and it was actually quite fun to see him play some games on the, he said he played some games on the evening, because they left it open for the exhibitioners and the press and that on an evening, which I'll talk about here. But again, it's 2 Famicom games. One I hadn't heard of, and I had to pick this up because I'm a big David Bowie fan. Labyrinth, I didn't even know this existed. Now, as you know, Gauntlet's one of my favourite games, and it very much looks like a Gauntlet sort of clone thing, but obviously I think you have to interact with the characters. But if you want to know anything about a game, you can ask Alan, he'll be honest with you. He said it's not too text heavy, but even if it was, man, it's Labyrinth for the game. I had to buy it. And to be fair, for the price he charged me for that, it meant I got this game for free, which I wanted really. So the combined total, I got this one for free, which is 1942, which is a shooter, which you can't go wrong with Famicom. Shooters, platformers, you know, you can't pretty much go wrong with a Famicom system. So that was good. While I'm still talking about Blackpool, I'll talk about the evening. Because I exhibition at a lot of play events, I just asked, can I get a couple of passes to get into the event, like meaning to get in earlier. But I actually got in because they have an open out evening, like on the Saturday night you can stay and game after everyone's gone. And it's way easy to get on stuff, there's no queues for nothing. And I actually played some games, I know, crazy innit? Going to a gaming event and playing games. Me and Liam, we had a game of Gauntlet. I should have some pictures of the arcade cabs popping out. Played Gauntlet 2, which is one of my favourite games. Liam never played it before, and I'm like, I can't believe you never played Gauntlet. But we had a good time playing that. I went and played Salamander, because I love Salamander. My earliest remember of it is on the Amstrad CPC 464, but I've also got it on the NES and on the Famicom. The cart on the Famicom is really nice. I think I mentioned it in a previous video. So I think I got second highest score on that on the night, so I was quite pleased with that. Liam kicked my ass at point blank. I won't even lie. I'm not the best at fucking light gun games. But I kicked his ass at Mortal Kombat, because if I'm Scorpion on Mortal Kombat, I will kick most people's ass, because I just know the one move and that's it. And I'll fucking be boring as fuck and I'll beat you. And then Steve had his Sneaker Freak, who was up there with like his usual crew. He kept on to me to play Sensible Soccer. Now, it was on the Amiga, and as you lot know, I went from Amstrad, like home computer, straight to console. The Amiga and the Atari ST passed me by. So I never played Sensible Soccer on this sort of format. But I said, you know what, we'll have a game. I was West Brom, who had Bob Taylor up front at the time, and a few other players that I remember from my youth, and Steve was Tranmere. And we played a best 2 out of 3, mainly because I think I won the first game. I won 1-0. I don't know how, because I didn't really... Obviously I know how to play Sensible Soccer, but the old joystick configuration and the whole movement, because it is a little bit of a skill to master Sensible Soccer. So I won 1-0 and he beat me the next 2 games. He was Tranmere. But it was just a good laugh, you know, to sit down and have a few games with people who normally I'm either just talking at from the side of the store, or I talk to on a night out. I don't actually get time to game. So that was really good. I enjoyed that. He said I was the only one who scored against him that day, but I don't believe that. I think he was just hyping me up because I'd won the first game. So that was good. Blackpool was brilliant, you know. If you've never been to Blackpool, I say you should experience it at least once. If you've been to Blackpool, you always want to go again next year, and it always seems miles away. So hopefully at some point we can fill in with an arcade club meet sometime in between. I didn't just go drinking and gaming in Blackpool. I did go game hunting. I had some games from CEX, and I took them back to the Blackpool one because I got Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which looked like it had been shredded, the cover on the Mega Drive. I paid 70 quid for Streets of Rage 3 that some geezer had spilled his coffee over. And Splatterhouse looked like it had been staring directly at the sun since the day it was released, so it was some fairy tale. I took them back in Blackpool, and there was me, Lewis, his wife Amanda, and Liam. And we was in CX ages, because this geezer said, oh, loads of people have been returning the games, not the right games that they bought. Like, you know, they've swapped them for ones in the collection that aren't as good. So he literally rung all 3 stores to check that they were the games I took back. So I don't know what bastard's doing that to UK. But, you know, them obviously checking now. They're on to us, so just be careful, because they might refuse to take them back if you take the piss too much. But mine were genuine, so I got the refund. And then me, Lewis, Amanda and Liam, we went for lunch actually in the Weatherspoons, and it was beautiful on the Saturday, and we sat on the top, like you could go, and there was like a bit of a sea view, and that was good. And it was good to spend some time with Lewis and Amanda, because I see them all the while passing, because Lewis is like me, he sells at events, and Lewis is very much likes to get involved with the game, and then he does a brilliant job on his channel with CEX, so that's Wish Wash. but it is just nice to hang out with people with similar interests and just talk about a load of crap, really. So that was brilliant. Talking from CX, that'll perfectly flow into my next lot of pickups if I just swing my chair and grab one that I know I've left on the shelf. So yeah, so I've had some CX credit. I got myself this watch, some smartwatch, which hooks up to my phone and all sorts of things, go answer calls. I've still got probably a couple of £100 to invest into games, but I picked up these games as well as the ones I took back. So the first one is Earth Defence Force. Again, my plan is I've put all these in these plastic protectors because they sit on my shelf like that or like that, and what I'm going to do is make a little label, because obviously everyone knows the SNES is, and the N64, you know, like, they were just dickheads. They didn't put no way to display a label of what the game is once it's on the shelf, so you have to flick through. So if I can do that, it'll make my collection more manageable. So that was Earth Defence Force. A couple of games for the Switch. SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. Obviously it's just a collection of SNK games. I mean, my Switch is like everything else. It's just been here collecting dust because the games room's not been manageable. One for Dylan Craven, Galgun 2. I know he's into his anime games. So if I can add one per time I do a pickup, he'll keep him interested in my channel. This one, everyone used to go on about this when it first came out, and I never got, you know, I'm not one who jumps on a game now soon it comes out unless it's a game I really want. But I'll give this one a go. I've obviously played the original on the PS1 and I've played the GameCube versions. So that's Resident Evil 2. I know some tubers used to write Babylon about it, so I'm going to have a go at it if I get a chance. Probably won't be till Christmas when I'm quiet with work. And this one, Wipeout Collections. Now the Wipeout franchise for me is iconic with the PS1. And when I picked this game up yesterday, it instantly brought back a memory that I'll show you now. I mean, I remembered playing Wipeout the first time at our local youth club on Russell's Hall. It used to be a youth club. We used to play on the rubber pitch for football most nights of the week. Like, obviously when winter come, the youth club used to open up on a Thursday or Friday night or both. And you could go in, they got table tennis tables, they got chairs around, like people just tossing around listening to music. There was a tuck shop. But in the little back room, they'd got a PS1 set up and an N64. And I remembered playing Wipeout with my mate Scott Robinson and Wave Racer. On the N64, man, we used to be quite competitive at that because my mate Scott was big into the PS1 as well, and it was just amazing how when I picked up that game yesterday, it instantly brought back that memory of when I used to play the original Wipeout back in the day when I was probably, you know, 13, 14 years old, maybe a bit younger than that, down at the youth club. So it's weird how certain games can have nostalgic memories, sort of thing, I suppose. So that's my CEX pickups for the last couple of months, I think. Might be some other Mega Drive ones. There's a few Japanese Mega Drives I've had off eBay, but I couldn't be bothered to sort them out. Then when I got back from Blackpool a couple of weeks later, my mate Si, who I've bought stuff off in the past, he's slimming his collection down. He's just focusing solely on the Super Nintendo. And he said, is there any of these NES games you need? And he sent me a list. And I just wrote down which ones I need, and he knocked about 20 quid off, so I was like, yeah, I'll have them. There's not amazing titles, there's some decent titles. Some are loose, some are boxed. I did make him an offer on the lot, but I think he took them to Nick at Vintage Game and the other ones, and because Si wanted pretty close as he could get to retail from them, and obviously I'd need to flip them if they were ones that weren't going in my collection, sort of thing. So I just said I'll just take the ones I need. Just starting off, Dr. Mario dust sleeve, so you know that's the only one with a dust sleeve. Bubble Bobble, which I didn't have. You know, they're all in good condition. The labels isn't too bad. Oh, I've mixed some of my original games. This one I couldn't believe I didn't have, but I didn't, because obviously I checked like size list with what I got. Excite Bike, again, good condition. And Hook. Again, fine, excellent condition. They'll go back on my shelf in a minute. And then these ones are all boxed, you know. You've seen them before. They're all in the box protector, so it makes the condition look a little bit better. But they're not too rough. Honest use, as everyone says, honest use, honest manual, whatever. I'll confess, I've never played a Kirby game before, and this is Kirby's Adventure. You know, he's one of them Nintendo mascots, much like Yoshi, that I've not played many Yoshi games, Super Mario World, where he's, you know, Mario can jump on his back. That's the only one I can think of. RoboCop 2. I mean, RoboCop 2 is in pretty good nick, to be fair. Just got a bit of glare, you'll see my reflection of my phone on the plastic, obviously. Tailspins, which I didn't have. All these games, obviously, are going for my collection. And Top Gun and Top Gun the Second Mission. I bet these are naff. I'm not really a big fan of the film, but you know, they're in good condition. They were boxed and what I wanted for them. It wasn't worth worrying about, to be fair. So I picked up all them. I have been buying a few little bits off the old Evil Bay. As I said before, I've got the TurboGrafx Duo, which for some reason I thought it wasn't working. But what I was doing, like an idiot, because I've got a copy of Chase HQ, which is written English on the front, so I assumed it was TurboGrafx, it's not PC Engine, so it obviously wouldn't work. So I picked myself up the TurboGrafx games to play. My TurboGrafx Duo actually works, so now I've got both forms of the system, the Japanese and the American. I just got Bonk's Adventure. Comes with a manual as well. My plan is to get some old CD, smash the little circle thing out the bottom, and then just make a case so it'll go on my shelf and look a little bit neater. So I've picked that up. And then finally, me and Liam last Sunday just gone, we got mega early, went to the booth over in Leicester. It's kind of an indoor / outdoor one. So basically the 4 storage units, they were all full of traders, and they were traders. There weren't many genuine sellers in there. And then the genuine sellers turn up, poor buggers, and they get sent outside. Now, luckily, the weather was all right up until everyone started setting up outside. You literally had half an hour, and then the Evans opened, and everyone was starting to pack away. So I had a couple of pickups. The one I picked up just at the right time, because if I'd have left it till when it stops raining, I definitely wouldn't have bought it. But I picked up a couple of Xbox One games. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. £3 each, these were. You don't get much trading for them, but obviously if I was to buy them from CX, I'd pay considerable more. I'll be honest, I'm not massive on Final Fantasy, but you know, £3, I'm not going to moan. And Dead Rising 3, again, £3. Don't know why the disc is on that side, that kind of stresses me. Why is it on that side? I don't know. And I don't know why there's a clip for a manual unless there was some DLC there. So I picked them up. Picked a few action figure accessories up in an action figure. They're all downstairs with the toys. See, that's why I've not been doing a lot, man. I've been sorting out stuff. I'll go on to that in a minute. But this one item, I said to Liam, I said, oh, they've got this on that table down there. I don't know how much I want for it. I don't even know whether to get it, because I don't know what I'll do with it. We went over and I asked the geezer, and he said a tenner. And Liam goes, you might as well have it for a tenner. So, he's going to take some gain up into camera. Ugh. I picked up this iMac for a tenner. Now, I thought for a tenner, I'm just going to have to put it on my lap. I thought for a tenner, I'll take the gamble of whether it works or not. Now, if I'd have left it half an hour after and it got rained on, it wouldn't work. Turned it on, loaded it up first time. I've sorted out a keyboard and mouse to put with it now. It's got someone's CV on and some other stuff, which I'll obviously delete off after I've had a nosy through. But I don't know what to do with it. I don't know whether to move it on. I don't know if to keep it for a bit and do some iMac gaming, some of the older stuff. I don't know if I can get older Football Managers on it, which would be my main use. I'm going to probably get a little table to put my laptop and this on anyway. So, I don't know. Give me some suggestions in the comments what to do with it. Obviously, don't say fucking chuck it off a building or something. If someone's got some genuine ideas or some ideas of some games or where to get them from, I'd be very interested. If not, I'll probably just keep it for a year like I do with everything else and then move it on. That's just the way it goes. I'll have to put it back down here because it's fucking heavy. But yeah, so that's everything I've picked up. As I say, I've been away for a while. The room was stressing me. This room is now as tidy as it's ever been since it's been in this room. I'm going to do a little tour at the end where I'll show you my collection and how it's all set up. My collection's still not all in here. There's a couple of boxes I need to sort still. But the main reason I haven't done any videos is, like, all my stock, all my collection after clearing out that unit what we had when they rewired the house was in my front room. And it was just stressing me. I weren't going to the booters to buy any more because I was thinking, God, I've got nowhere to put stuff. Well, last week I bought a shed. I've insulated this shed out, boarded it, shelved it up. And I'd say 90% of my stock now is in there. There's still a bit under the stairs. There's still a little bit in the front room that I got saw. But I feel comfortable now in the games room. I can actually move my swivel chair around the room. So hopefully that means I'll be doing some more videos now. Everything's how I want it. Everything's where I want it. I can set up, I can sit, I can chill, I can talk to the camera. Because I just fucking need away from everywhere because I didn't want to come in the games room. I've not played nothing for months. And I didn't want to get to the boots and buy more stuff because I was stressing where I got to put it. But luckily now I've sorted everything else. Oh, since I last done the video, I did the toy fair, Barry Potter's at Birmingham. And I sold an absolute ton of stuff. I probably did as good in a day there as I've ever done at a gaming event, so that's a new thing I want to add. Because hopefully I like to do the reselling of games, toys, stuff like that more full time in the future. You know, I don't want to be plastering the rest of my life. Once the old man retires, I'd like to do something that I think I probably enjoy, because I enjoy the hunt of finding. Now I'm probably not going to enjoy the listing and shit like that, but you know, it's definitely something I'm considering in the future. You know, I'm going to become a lizard, reselling, buying stuff, flipping it. Which I do anyway now, but it would just be on a bigger scale. But to be honest, if I showed you inside the shed, you'd think it already is a bigger scale. So I might do a bit of that on the next video. I might show you out. I might shoot a video inside the shed and show you the stuff that's in there at some point. But I'm just waffling now. I'm just babbling and chatting shit. So again, go and check out the guys who have been voted for YouTuber of the Month. And as always, like, comment and subscribe. I've tried to get back into commenting on people's videos because I'd been watching, but I was just being antisocial, you know, being a bit of a dick really. So hopefully I'm back on the tubes a little bit more regular now. So again, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.